Hello YouTube, Doki here doing another video on bipolar disorder, which this one's going to be kind of different because it's not on me now. It's actually my childhood bipolar, which I think is very important that people should know that kids can also have bipolar disorder. It doesn't matter what age, doesn't matter at all. They can still have it. Usually bipolar disorder is known to come from genes, which is from families. I have a aunt who's bipolar disorder. I have my sister who is bipolar 2. I think I'm the only one in the family who has type 1, which is no competition, but still, it's differences. This one's going to be on childhood bipolar, which was from my childhood, my experience with it. Now I'm going to go through the symptoms of mania so people can understand if your child does have bipolar disorder or does have symptoms of it. I think they should get checked out because it's more important to get treated for it, even though it's very hard to diagnose children in bipolar disorder, but it's still a chance to try to give them a good childhood instead of like mood swings and other things. The symptoms of mania can happen in adults and children. It doesn't matter, but in children it's more severe, but it could be severe in any age. It doesn't matter. Um, One symptom is decreased need for sleep, where you don't sleep for days, or the max is 4 hours. So, like if you slept for 4 hours and you're totally wide awake, that could become from mania. But mostly people who has bipolar disorder, including me, would stay up for days, won't even sleep, but still feel energetic, won't be tired. Next is excessive spending, which I don't think kids, especially my age, when I was 4, it started when I was 4, the symptoms started, but I was born with it. But when the mania came in my life, I was 4. Let's say if kids got money for their birthday or Christmas or, whatever. Um, it's more likely for kids who has bipolar disorder to spend the money more often instead of spending, where kids could usually save it, but kids with bipolar disorder tend to spend. Excessive spending is where you go on shopping sprees. This is for adults now, where you go on shopping sprees and you spend way beyond your needs and you go negative in your account or you max out your credit cards. That's excessive spending. It doesn't necessarily have to be bipolar disorder. And in children, it's hard because children don't know the value of money. So it's like kind of like a 50-50, but if more likely they could have bipolar disorder. Hypersexuality, hypersexuality is a huge symptom in my past, in my childhood, when I was 4. um Hypersexuality could include excessive masturbating, where, I know this is kind of like weird for people to see it, but excessive masturbating is basically masturbating, which I would say this is more towards boys, where you masturbate more often, like more than you actually would. So let's say like a guy masturbated like um 1 times a day, they masturbated 1 times a day. Where in hypersexuality you can masturbate plenty of times and you can still come, or people like adults or kids also depends, they can have sex a lot with random people, random kids their age. So with my experience with hypersexual, when I was 4, I was really out there doing sexual things with my friends, but it was more like, to them it was like more playing doctor, if you guys know the term of that, but to me it was more like a sexual urge and more feeding to it by me going and having sexual, stuff with other kids, but I also had a backstory on why I was so hypersexual also, instead of bipolar disorder, which I'm not going to get into that. But it is normal for kids to have hypersexuality and bipolar disorder. It's totally normal. But it's kind of hard when you realize it, because a lot of kids won't go up to their mom or dad and say, hey, I give, this one a blowjob, or I give this one a hand job, or, I did stuff with this kid. They're not going to do that. I sure hell didn't do it because I wanted to keep on doing it. But like I said, it's very hard to diagnose bipolar disorder in kids, where the symptoms I'm displaying could actually be true in bipolar disorder with children. So if your kids do have that kind of symptoms, it's possible they can have bipolar disorder. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think about racing thoughts. Racing thoughts was a big one of me too. Racing thoughts is where your thoughts race, rapid racing. You totally, when you talk rapid speech, you talk really fast, or you kept on talking, you don't stop talking. There is parts where racing thoughts, you guys get headaches from it. It has your thoughts racing and racing, racing. You go from idea to the next idea to the next idea. Sometimes when you talk, you switch subjects a lot, which that's a big part of racing thoughts. Like you talk, like let's say we talk about, bipolar disorder, and I talk about schizophrenia, then I talk about borderline personality, all at the same time. It's like I'm switching, 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 which is that's rapid speech. Um, Depression wise, I do believe in type 1 you experience more manic symptoms than type 2, because type 2 has more depressive episodes than type 1. But it's true you can have mixed episodes where you have mania and depression also, which I do believe I get that sometimes, but I mostly experience mania um, more than depression. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's possible that kids could have, your kid can have bipolar. We have these symptoms I've explained, but my childhood bipolar was also like this. I had hypersexuality. Hypersexuality was a big, big symptom of my past, um, where I kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. It doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't matter who it is. I just do whatever I do just to feed the sexual urge. Excessive spending, like I said, it's kind of hard with kids because kids don't really know the value of money. So it's like they spend anyway, but if you spend way more and more and more and more and more, then it's more likely that they have bipolar disorder. ADHD, I'm diagnosed with ADD and ADHD when I was 3. So it's possible kids, especially boys with ADHD, can have bipolar disorder or mood disorder. That's very normal and common in ADHD in boys. Um, Girls too, is possible. Um, Hallucinations, delusions, psychosis. Psychosis is a big symptom of mania, especially in type 1 bipolar, where you have hallucinations, where you hear stuff, feel stuff, see stuff. And a lot of people confuse that with schizophrenia, which is not schizophrenia. Mania does have that too. But if you have more hallucinations and delusions and psychosis more than the manic symptoms, then you're not bipolar. You're more likely to be schizophrenia. I don't know much about schizophrenia as well as I know about bipolar 1 because I don't have schizophrenia. I have not borderline paranoid type schizophrenia, which paranoid type schizophrenia is more like the paranoia and the hallucinations, but mania do have hallucinations also, so that's the differences between those two. So if you guys want to check out any of my videos, I have a video on lithium, which medication for children could be on lithium for mood, for a mood stabilizer. Not everyone who's bipolar disorder is on lithium. There is Lamictal, which is a big medication also like lithium for a mood stabilizer for bipolar 1 disorder. So like, comment, subscribe. This is my video on childhood bipolar. My childhood bipolar it started when I was 4 years old, and it's possible even earlier. It depends when it comes on. You can have it when you're little, or you can have it when you're a teen, or you can have it when you're an adult. But it's very possible kids that age, 4 years old, can have bipolar disorder. This is my own experience. So like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys check out my other videos. If you guys want me to do any other symptoms, if you guys want me to do symptom videos on my experience, just comment below or like. And just if you do want me to do one, just comment what symptoms you want me to do, and I'll do it. Thanks.